Okay, so I want you to imagine something for a second. You're standing on a runway.
Right.
But it's not an airport runway. You're almost 2,000 meters up in the air.
On top of a mountain.
Exactly, standing on the jagged peak of Mount Babadag. And right below you, the world it just drops away into this wash of pine forests, and then a lagoon so blue it almost looks fake.
Like a saturation error on a screen, yeah. And the only way down is to just run off the edge.
That's it. You run, the ground disappears, and then suddenly you're not falling, you're floating. And that is the classic introduction to Fethiye, isn't it?
It is. It's the postcard image of the turquoise coast of Turkey. But if we just stop there, we're really missing the point.
Right.
The whole mission of this deep dive isn't just to sell a beach vacation. It's to try and understand a place that's defined by, extreme geography, ancient tragedy, and a really complex, layered modern culture.
And we've been digging through it all. We've got the updated 2026 guides, archaeological reports on the Lycian tombs, culinary reviews, and even some firsthand accounts of the 1923 population exchange.
It's a fascinating mix.
So we're going to try and synthesize what it feels like to fly off that mountain, then walk through a ghost town of 500 abandoned houses, and then try to decipher the mysteries of a civilization that carved its history straight into the cliffs.
It's such a juxtaposition. You have that Turkish Maldives vibe on one side, the whole luxury and sun thing, and on the other you have this deep and often pretty melancholic history of the Lycian people and the scars of 20th century politics.
Let's start with the physics of that view, though, because you can't talk about Fethiye without talking about paragliding and Ludinus.
It's synonymous.
Yeah, and reading the sources, it's not just about being high up, it's about the very specific geography of Babadag Mountain itself.
Right. It's incredibly rare to have a mountain that high. We're talking 1,960 meters to over 6,000 feet?
Almost 6,500 feet, yeah.
Or rising almost directly from sea level. That sheer verticality is the key.
And that creates the thermals, doesn't it? The whole mechanics of the flight depend on it.
Exactly. The sea breeze comes in, hits that massive mountain face, and it's first upward. So it creates these really reliable, consistent columns of rising air.
Which is why the flights are so long.
That's why Babadag is cited as one of the best commercial tandem spots in the world. You're not just falling in a controlled way, you're actually cruising. A flight time of 30 to 40 minutes is pretty standard because of that lift.
The descriptions of the experience were interesting. I expected to read about pure terror.
Sure.
But almost every source says the launch is the only truly scary part. Mm-hmm. The flight itself is, they describe it as silent, peaceful.
It's almost like sensory deprivation. You go from the noise of the launch site, the bus engines, instructors shouting, to just absolute quiet over the blue lagoon.
Unless you ask for the tricks.
Yes. The acro.
I read about this. Apparently, if you give the pilot a thumbs up, they use all that height to do these G-force spirals and wingovers.
It's an optional adrenaline spike.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's worth noting the infrastructure changes. The 2026 guides mention this.
Yeah.
This used to be a kind of rough dirt track adventure.
And now?
Now there's a cable car. There are paved runways at the top. It's become a much more sanitized professional operation.
Which brings us down to sea level. Assuming you survive the flight, you land on Ludinus Beach, and that's where the water culture takes over. But we should probably distinguish between the different kinds of experiences here.
Oh, absolutely. The guides are very clear that not all boat trips are created equal.
No, they're not. You have the 12 Islands tours, which are on those huge double-decker boats.
Those are the party boats.
Yeah.
Loud music, foam parties. You know the vibe. They stop at places like Flat Island and Red Island, but it's crowded.
Which is fine if that's what you want. But the travel forums suggest a shift in recent years, more towards the Blue Bays trips.
Right. Smaller boats, no loud music. They focus on the secluded coves where the big boats can't actually go.
It's a more intimate experience.
Definitely. Yeah. But no matter which boat you're on, there is one universal constant in Fethiye we have to discuss. The boat trip lunch.
It's a whole genre of food in itself. I was laughing reading the reviews. You have people swearing that boat trip spaghetti is better than any pasta they've had in a restaurant.
It's the context, isn't it? It's simple food, usually grilled trout or chicken, pasta with a basic tomato sauce, and a ton of maize. But it just tastes exponentially better after you've been swimming in salt water.
And that meze spread is serious. We're talking shakshuka with aubergine and peppers, burlati bean stew, those garlic carrot dips. It's not just a sad sandwich.
No, not at all. And while you're out there on the water, you're seeing these incredible places like Butterfly Valley.
That place looks like a movie set. A beach just wedged between these two massive vertical canyon walls.
It's a designated nature reserve, and you can only get there by boat or a begorded kite, a very dangerous hike, which most sources strongly advise against.
And it's named for the butterflies, obviously.
So Jersey tiger butterflies, yeah. Though I should probably manage expectations here. The sources say sightings have dropped a lot because of climate shifts and tourism. So now you really go for the incredible canyon scenery, not necessarily for swarms of butterflies.
Okay, so for wildlife, you're better off heading to Calais Beach. For the turtles.
Yes, the caretta, the loggerhead sea turtles. Calais isn't the prettiest beach. It's more grit sand and can get windy, but it is a crucial nesting ground.
And you can see the nests.
If you're there at the right time of year, yeah. Conservation groups put these protective cages over them. It's a good reminder that this isn't just a tourist playground. It's a living, fragile ecosystem.
So we've covered the air and the sea. But to really get Fethiye, you have to look at the stone. I mean, you can't walk down a street in the town center without basically tripping over a sarcophagus.
Literally. Modern Fethiye is built right on top of the ancient city of Telmessos.
And the most incredible example is the tomb of Amyntas. You look up at the cliffs over the marina, and there it is, this massive Ionic temple facade carved directly into the rock.
It's from 350 BC, and the inscription is perfectly clear, Amyntas, son of Hermagios. But the question you have to ask is, why? Why carve a tomb halfway up a sheer cliff?
I just assumed it was to stop grave robbers.
Well, that's a secondary benefit. But the main reason was their belief system. The Lycians believed that winged, sort of siren-like creatures carried the souls of the dead to the afterlife.
So putting the tombs up high.
They believed they were physically shortening the journey for the soul, making it easier for them to be carried away.
That's actually very poetic.
Yeah.
But the engineering involved must have been immense.
Unbelievable. And Telmessos is just one piece of the Lycian puzzle. The sources really highlight that this whole region was a federation, the Lycian League.
Which is considered the first democratic union in history, right? It apparently influenced the U.S. Constitution.
It did. And to understand their language, the guides all point to the trilingual inscription at the Fethiye Museum.
The Rosetta Stone of Lycia.
Essentially, yes. It has the same text in Lycian, Greek, and Aramaic. Without that stone, a huge part of their civilization would still be a complete mystery to us.
But the history gets a lot darker. You can't talk about Lycia without mentioning Xanthos.
Xanthos is heavy. It was the ancient capital. And it's famous not for its victories, but for its suicide.
It happened twice, didn't it?
Twice.
Yeah.
First against the Persians in 545 BC, and then again against Brutus, yes, the Roman Brutus in 42 BC. In both cases, when defeat was certain, the men of Xanthos gathered their families and their wealth into the Acropolis, set it on fire, and then fought to the death.
A legacy of just absolute resistance.
Yeah.
Better dead than enslaved.
That's it, exactly. So when you visit the ruins of Xanthos today, you're not just looking at old stones. You are standing on the site of a mass martyrdom. It has a very different gravity to it than the beach resorts just down the road.
Speaking of gravity and ghosts, we have to talk about Kayakoi. Because if there's one place that really defines the deep dive into Fethiye, it has to be this village.